What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Welcome back to another video. It's a brand new month, a brand new quarter, and we just finished the third quarter, which means September, we still have to go through the dividend payouts for that month. Now, September is a quarterly month, meaning that majority of the dividends get paid during that time period. Anything that's getting paid on October 1st as well, I'm also kind of moving that over to September because that is a quarterly month, and I kind of want that to be there and understand all of the monthly payouts and where that will stand. We're going to go through my entire balance. We're going to go through what the gains were. We're also going to go through a different change that we made for our dividend portfolio, because I think there's a revelation that I made with this that I didn't put together until years later at this point. So if you guys could hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, check out my link for Robinhood, Webull, or even crypto.com. They're offering stocks as well if you guys want to start trading stocks, or if you want to give yourself, a long-term, you know, dividend account or IRA or something like that. Feel free to just check out Robinhood. Anyways, my overall portfolio last month, I believe it was like in the 170s, 170,000, if not 180,000. Today, it's sitting at $184,370.53. Today, it's up by $350 or about 0.2%. And things are great, right? I'm not doing anything with the money. I'm not planning on, just putting it all on black or anything like that. This is an investment, a long-term investment that I will hold for forever, that I plan on being able to gain dividends with and pay my bills eventually. So in the last week, this is up by about 1% or $1,600. In the past month, it's up by 0.3%. In the past 3 months, it's up by 2.36% or $4,253. In year to date, looking at the last 9 months, we're up 6.25% or $10,833.79. Overall, a year, it's up by 3%. And then in all history, which for me, my dividend portfolio started about 2 years ago to this month, we're looking at being up 10% or $16,864.79. Now, while that gain is not the best gain at all, it is still a gain. I can't speak. It is still a gain nonetheless. I always think of those stuttering videos where I watch them all the time where it's like, Jesus, just get it out. Um, $16,860.43 or 10% increase on the day or on the last 2 years. Now, this hits me two different ways. One, it's a gain, and I'm also gaining dividends. Two, I feel like it's not enough compared to what the average could be, right? The average, what you would see in the S&P 500 in the past 2 years, you'd be looking at like 20+%, right? I don't know exactly what it is, but in the past year, you're looking at like 20% in like the S&P 500, right? If I just invested it all into the SPY, and in the past year, I would gain 15 or 16% on just that money there. Now, you're talking about 2 years, you're adding that on, like I could have gained a lot more just investing in it directly into the S&P 500. So what was I doing wrong? What did I have that I was invested into that wasn't seeing the level of increases? Well, it seems like everything. And majority of what I invested money into, I would say, is SCHD. Now, SCHD over the past year did not do that great. While it is up 1% right now, and it's fantastic to see that, it was not here literally a day ago. It was only up by like $25. And then before the market opened, it was down by like 3%, or not 3%, by like $3. So after all of that time, for me, like you're talking about, as long as I've been invested into this, I have not gained basically anything. And it's off and on for this position. Now, the past year hasn't been great for SCHD. It's down by 3%. While you look at the SPY, that's up by 15%, 16%. That's the issue, is that I wasn't invested into things that were that are popular or going to be consistent throughout 5, 10, 15 years or anything like that, which would be what everybody's thinking of, the sector that everybody's thinking of. It would be technology. There's only 10% for SCHD that's invested in the technology, and that was my revelation, was that I needed more invested into technology. So this year, I'm making a change. Every single day, I'm investing into 2 new positions that I have in my portfolio. One of those positions is going to be FVDD. FVDD has always been in my portfolio. I just haven't had a lot invested into it. This has, I believe, 26% invested in the technology and 19 in financial services. If you look at the last year, this is up by 10%. So it's still giving you a better percentage than what you could have had with SCHD, which is mainly in consumer defense and stuff like that, right? And only 10% in the technology. You're investing closer to what the S&P 500 is, which I believe the S&P 500 or the SPY is sitting at 30%, if I'm not mistaken, 35% into technology. So that's why you see this run by how far it ran. And then the next position that I plan on investing into, and that I'm doing $50 per day as well, is, let me see if I can find it, is TDIV, TDIV. I have $1,000 invested into it now. And this over the past year has grown by 23%. Over the past 5 years is up by 125%. So these, again, I'm investing $50 every single day into that. This is 84% technology, but the dividend yield is 1.65. So it's not a lot really at all, but you can still get a dividend while having majority invested into technology, which I think is a great deal, right? Now, this may be taking a risk because it's not something like traditional, like you're investing into the SPY and everybody invests into the SPY. This is not something that I wouldn't say many people are following, because many people are. Just everybody would be invested into. Literally, if you have an investment portfolio, you're probably invested into the SPY directly. So anyways, those are the changes that I'm making. I'm going to invest heavily into technology, and it'll be about $2,000 a month that I add into my dividend portfolio that's going directly into FDVV and TDIV. So those are 2 plays that I'm adding to my dividend portfolio, even though TDIV is not at the dividend range that I want to be at, which is around 3%. It sucks to see that, but I also want to stay involved with SCHD because the percentages that it moved before, you had higher percentages there. It was just, different sectors were moving at those times. And you're always going to see fluctuation in sectors. The technology sector has been a consistent performer, though, because technology, is king. We're just going to see that continue to be a big thing, right? Now, into what you guys came here for, which is my dividend portfolio. How much have I made in dividends? So let's go into the different dividend payouts here. If we go into my account and look at September 2nd, I received a dividend from Target, $69.99. JP Morgan, I received a dividend from them, $158.07. Microsoft is 30 cents. I don't really have much in Microsoft, but the growth for Microsoft has been amazing. It's up to like $517. The Dow Jones, I received 62 cents. Realty Income, it's a monthly paying dividend, $63.38. Fidelity, FDVV, is $78.04. Vanguard, high dividend yield, you're looking at $44.22. SPR portfolio, S&P 500 high dividend ETF, $55.32. Investico S&P 500 ETF, $93.42. Investico RAFI US 1000 ETF, $4.20. Charles Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, $458.99, my largest dividend I believe that I've ever received. Wisdom Tree US High Dividend Fund, $95.03. NASDAQ Technology Dividend ETF, which is the TDIV is $2.44. Nike, I received $47.77. I know this is over October, but I'm adding this in. Coca-Cola, I will be receiving $30.76. I like to add this into the quarterly side of things because it just makes things work for understanding the monthly amount that's there, and it shows that this is a quarterly paying dividend position rather than ones that are being paid off of that month. You know what I mean? I could do it the other way, but it just makes it easier for me in my process. But that's basically all the dividends that we've received over that time, which is fantastic. The total amount of how much we received in dividend payments is $1,202.55, which is higher than what we expected, which is $1,100. That's great to see there. And also, the total amount that we received for the year was $5,256.78, which, if you average it out, I received about $600 per month in dividends. I will take that any day of the week. Extra money that's being paid to me while my money is growing by 10% over the last 2 years is great. It's not phenomenal because it could have been, 15%. It could have been 20% over the last 2 years, 10% per year, but instead it was about 5% per year. So something I wouldn't say has to fully change, because the point about dividends, the one point that I'll make is that you got to make sure your account is positive over time, as well as being able to be paid dividends over time. Because this 5,000 adds into the 16,000 that I received over time, putting it over $20,000 that I've gotten from my dividend portfolio as what I would consider free money, right? Because I would have had, I don't know, 160,000, but now I have 180 or 185 or 190,000 because of the added money that's in there. Right? If I just put it in my bank account, it would still be 160,000, and it wouldn't go a longer way because of inflation. However, now that it's in this dividend portfolio, I'm able to gain $16,000, $17,000 plus the $5,000 that we have there over the last year, and the year isn't over. So still getting closer and closer to my goal of 250,000. I wanted to do it by the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to happen. It's $65,000 away. It depends on what I can gain in cryptocurrency, and also I'm putting $2,000 a month in here, and we only have 3 months left, so that'd be an extra $6,000 on top of this, getting me to $190,000 right there. So, anyways, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out any of the links down below. I want to know what you guys think about my change in strategy. I want to know what you guys think about my portfolio. And if you've invested into something else, let me know in the comment section below. But that's my dividend portfolio. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.